pulling my head down. I want to step with him. This doesn't mean he automatically wins the clinch. Every position has a counter. From here, all I want to do is bring my hands over the top, push his face away, and squeeze my own shoulders together. Now I have a dominant position as I push forward, even though he thinks he has a dominant position. So that's one lock. Let's go over the different hand positions and locks you can do in the clinch. People understand the traditional Thai plum. They're so used to seeing both hands on the back of the head where I can pull down and get to work. But a lot of times, if they know what they're doing, I can't get this position because he's going to control my hands, bring his elbows on the inside. So I have to understand different locks. But before I even get there, that's the important thing as well, is to control my elbows. If he wants to swim inside on this side, I have to use my elbows to control. Same thing, if I come inside over here, he's going to use his elbows to prevent me. So you're going to be in this position, what we call the 50-50, or at least in our gym, we call this 50-50 a lot. Very important detail though is I don't want to put my hand on the back of his neck. I don't have any leverage here. I want to put it on the top of his head, the crown of his head, or if you guys have long hair like me, closer to where your ponytail would be, because from there I can actually bend and control his head side to side, up and down, versus the neck. If I stop moving, right, I can't move anything from there. And my other hand has to be on the crook of his elbow, because if it's up here, maybe I want to, just like Mr. Eric did, if it comes up to the shoulder, I'm going to get elbowed. If I control the crook of his elbow, I can feel where his arm is, so if he tries to elbow me, I can control it, bring my position down. Now from this outside, this 50-50 position, of course I can come inside to the Thai plum. Let's work. Everyone loves this. A lot of things that people do is they cradle the back of the head. With gloves, you're not going to get a lot of leverage that way. What I like to do is do a gable grip. Again, especially with gloves, now I have more control and I can bend his head down as I step in to try to take his head down in that Thai plum position. Another position, if I'm here outside in the 50-50, if they're kneeing somebody, they're going to want to bring their hips in, and you'll see a lot of Muay Thai fighters will end up in this position where my arms are in this figure 4 right here. The second this arm touches my shoulder, I want to attack it. It's almost like a standing arm lock in jiu-jitsu. I want to bring this arm up, go over the top, and press his face away. Bang, just like that. From here, I locked his shoulder out. I can start throwing knees. I can start throwing elbows. All from the second that as we're pummeling, as we're moving in the clinch, the second I feel a hand or a shoulder, or a hand or an elbow on this shoulder, that's when I can step in and attack. So you always have to be aware of that. Same thing, if he has a dominant position and he starts pulling my head down, I want to step with him. This doesn't mean he automatically wins the clinch. Every position has a counter. From here, all I want to do is bring my hands over the top, push his face away, and squeeze my own shoulders together. Now I have a dominant position as I push forward, even though he thinks he has a dominant position. So that's one lock. If I have both my hands inside, and I want to drag his head down, but he's strong, he won't let me drag his head down, okay, I'll use that to my advantage. I'm already tucking my head inside because I don't want to get elbowed, so what I want to do is go underneath. So now my head is underneath his chin. Now this is I'm putting two different pressure directions. I want to push up with my head, and I'll pull down with my hands. So his head, especially his jaw, is stuck in a vice grip. Just like this, if I put pressure, it forces him onto his heels, so now I have a lot more leverage. If I can't quite get my head underneath his chin, I can go to the side as well, use the top of my head on the side of his head and start pushing and squeezing. If I squeeze hard enough, it's going to put a lot of pressure on his head. It's going to feel very painful as I start working with my knees from this position. Now the last position you can work on, it's a bit of an emergency position, but that doesn't make it a bad thing. If he's very strong, I can't get on the inside, I can't drag his head down, I can go for a classic bear hug like this. You'll see this a lot in MMA and wrestling. And in traditional Muay Thai, we can't really do a lot from this position. This is considered a dead position. I can throw some knees, he can throw some knees, or he'll drop his weight because he doesn't want me to move him, and then from there, the referee will break it. But before he gets to this position, because I don't want to get in a dead position, if I bring my elbows up, bang, just like that. Now his ribs are exposed. Now a disadvantageous position is advantageous for me this whole time. So I know I went over a lot, but that just shows how intricate the clinch actually is. It's not just this position, and then let me throw knees until he goes down. It's the art within the art. We're fighting for position as we're swimming this whole time, trying to get advantageous positions and control the elbows this entire time. And actually, as I'm swimming, I remember there's another position. So it's how many there actually are. You want to control both hands on the inside at the bicep and I can squeeze down like this. So now he can't elbow me and I can push forward. I can start throwing knees. I can lift my elbow to expose his ribs and bring his arms back down as he's coming down. Especially for MMA, this is good. This is almost like a wrestling position. If he comes forward, tries to go for my hips, I can control at the same time. So it just shows how many different positions, like jiu-jitsu, like any grappling art. It's not just grabbing the head and trying to force your way down. There's an actual technique and position with everything.